Good afternoon. Inflation drops to 2.8% in January, putting the price growth well within the government's 2 to 4% target range. The Philippine Statistics Authority reports last month's reading was softer than 3.9% recorded in December. It also hit the lower end of Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas' forecast range of 2.8 to 3.6% for January, and the slowest since October 2020 when the rate was at 2.3%. Much of the milder inflation in January was due to so-called base effects, which means the slower price uptick last month was magnified because it was compared with year-ago level, when inflation was high at 8.7%. Nevertheless, the within-range inflation rate and the forecast beating economic growth in 2023 would lessen the pressure on the BSP to cut rates sooner. The BSP says it's deemed necessary to keep monetary policy settings sufficiently tight until a sustained downtrend in inflation becomes evident. Over 1.1 million persons are affected by the trough of a low-pressure area in Mindanao. The National Risk Reduction and Management Council reports that the number of affected persons climbed to 1,122,975. This number translates to some 324,040 families, higher than the 700,000 individuals previously reported on Sunday. NDRRMC says that the number of reported deaths has reached 18, but it's still up for validation, along with the reports of 11 injured and 3 missing persons. The Buckingham Palace announces that King Charles III has been diagnosed with a form of cancer and has begun treatment. A statement from the palace says a separate issue of concern was noted during the king's recent hospital procedure for benign prostate enlargement. Subsequent diagnostic tests have identified a form of cancer. The king began treatment, but the palace didn't disclose the type of cancer found or how advanced it was. Meanwhile, the doctors have advised the king to postpone public duties, although he would continue to undertake state business and official paperwork as usual. The palace adds that the king remains wholly positive and looks forward to returning to full public duty as soon as possible. The palace further says that King Charles chose to share his diagnosis to prevent public speculation and to bring public understanding to those affected by cancer as well. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Inflation slows to 2.8% in January. Senator Risa Hontiveros calls for a probe into foreign cyber attacks on Philippine agencies. And Buckingham Palace announces that King Charles III has been diagnosed with a form of cancer and has begun treatment. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Jean Mangalus. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net.